Republican Whip Steve Scalise will play baseball against the Democrats tonight, exactly 1 year after he was shot during a practice and almost died. The Louisiana congressman has had nearly a dozen surgeries. Doctors weren't even sure Scalise could walk again. Now he's back in uniform, and he talked to Nancy Cordes for his first interview since getting back on the field. She's at Nationals Park in Washington, the site of tonight's annual Congressional baseball game. Nancy, good morning.
Good morning, and I know you guys remember that morning 1 year ago today when Steve Scalise was literally fighting for his life. Well, this morning he's already out on the field practicing. Both teams are. His last surgery was just 2 months ago, but he's been determined to get back to second base and participate in an annual tradition that dates back to 1909.
There you go, Steve. It's like riding a bicycle.
At 52, Steve Scalise is relearning how to play.
Go ahead, Whip, please.
All right, KB.
The same way he relearned how to walk.
There you go.
What still gives you the most trouble?
My limited mobility. I can't move the way I used to. It's better than it was a few weeks ago, but you know, if the ball's a few feet away from me, it's not as easy to get to.
For his teammates, the fact that Scalise can play at all is a miracle.
It is so good to see him out here.
The House's #3 Republican has endured more than 9 surgeries to repair internal organs and install steel plates after an Illinois man opened fire on the GOP team at an early morning practice. A single bullet tore through Scalise's hip, shattered his femur, and ripped open blood vessels. Then his security detail brought the gunman down.
I think the lowest point was the first time I saw my kids. You know, it was tough for them to absorb something like this, you know, to know that your dad was shot, somebody tried to kill me, and you know, to comprehend that for at the time a 10 and an 8-year-old, and that's really tough.
Baseball is a big deal for the Louisiana lawmaker, who had been considered his team's best player. So how's he looking out there? Be honest.
Looks great. Actually, he's better than he was before, so. He's got the same range, pretty much, yeah.
Republicans Kevin Brady and John Shimkus are Scalise's D.C. housemates. What's their approach at home when it comes to the PT? Are they like tough love or very supportive?
Tough love. I don't even know about the love part. It's just tough.
His recovery has been celebrated by both sides. The Democratic players set aside a century-old rivalry last week,
Pasquarelli, baby, how you been?
welcoming Scalise to their practice.
I've still got that breakaway 4.4 speed. You know?
The stepped-up police presence was hard to miss.
Has anything changed over the past year that would make not just members of Congress, but all Americans safer from gun violence?
You know, this event was unique. I mean, you see mental illness be, you know, becoming a bigger focus, which I think is a good thing.
Scalise's pro-gun rights stance hasn't changed, which does not surprise his good friend and fellow Louisianan Democrat Cedric Richmond.
In his case, it was 2 people that, with guns, that was able to save that team. To me, this happens far too much in our country.
But tonight, politics takes a backseat to pitching and the fulfillment of a year-long goal for Scalise.
You think the Democrats are going to go easy on you guys, knowing that you're still recovering?
I'd like to think, but I think that's where the civility ends on the baseball field.
Picture of the 2 you guys back.
Scalise's children, he says, will be cheering him on from home tonight. It's still too emotional, he tells us, to watch him out there in person on the baseball field, which is something that a lot of parents can probably understand. By the way, Nora, last year, without Scalise on the team, the Republicans lost to the Democrats 11-2. So there are some settles to score tonight.
That's right, Nancy. Thank you so much. It's so good to see him out there on the field. That, you know, that congressional baseball game, they say it's one of the last bipartisan acts that's actually happening in Washington.
And everybody's glad to see him. I don't know him, but you just feel happy that he's okay. One of the best pieces, Nora, was the one you did with Steve Scalise when he was coming back to Congress. And Paul Ryan, I'll never forget it, Paul Ryan walking in, you remember, John, and he literally fell to his knees when he saw Steve.
Yeah,
it was so touching.
That was for 60 Minutes, and I've known Paul Ryan for 20 years. I've obviously been covering politics. I've never seen a politician cry like that, let alone the Speaker of the House. It was a real moment.
human emotion. I love that moment.
Yeah, I'm so glad he's back.
So I'm a root for Steve this evening. Root for Steve Scalise. That's nice.
Well done. Thank you, Nancy, again.